Hiya, I'm Vaping Vic. Today we are reviewing this. It's the Smoant Night V2. What is it? What on earth is it? It is the follow-up to Smoant's Night V1 mod. It is the second version of the Night V1. What are the changes? What's happened? Okay, so a few major things. Firstly, it now goes up to 80 watts. It has temperature control with nickel, titanium, stainless steel, and it has a couple of TCR modes as well. Whatever the hell they are, I don't know. So it has all that stuff. It now has a battery door here. Bosh! Look at that. Before it was a battery situation going through the top. Still single 18650, but it now has this door on the side. The other major change, a negative I did level at the V1, it was like solid stainless steel or something like that, and it was very, very heavy. And the idea of this is like a pocket-friendly portable vape, and the fact that it was so heavy, I was walking around like John Wayne. I'm not gonna lie. So it was a bit heavy, the first version. This one is now some sort of powder coated aluminium, God knows, but it's lighter. That's the point, it's lighter. So that's something to bear in mind. I can't remember the exact dimensions of the cage on the previous V1, but this one is very neatly fitting. This Merlin, which is 23mm, so you can get a nice 23mm tank in here. We'll talk about that a bit more down low. It comes with in the kit form that I have, it comes with the Smoant Talos V1 subtank. Now, this is the exact same subtank, the Talos V1, as the Night V1 came with. I think they've changed their heads, but it's still not a great vape. I'm not covering all ground. I'm not a massive fan of that subtank. It's just not that good. It's just see it as, if you're going after this, you're going to buy this, just see that as a bonus. Use it for a bit, put your own tank on once the heads have gone or whatever. You know, that's just my personal take on that. Yeah, so I'm not going to go over the Talos V1 much. If you really want to know about the Talos V1, maybe check out my Night V1 review. I don't know. It's just a subtank. So, Night V2, let's go down here, specifically this corner of the desk here. That's where the action happens, and I'll show you really up close. Okay guys, here we are up close with the Night V2 from Smoant. All that good stuff. It's got some stuff on the back. Feel free to pause and have a browse at that, but I'm going to tell you all about that stuff, so don't worry about that. Manuals. This little thing here is for I'll show it you. It's for if you have a tank that's too small or an RDA that's too small to reach the top and you want to extend it a bit. That's what that's for. Yeah, that's what that does. There's your mod, and your sub-tank in this box is a spare coil head and a charge cable. I don't like to dwell on the packaging too much, but that's that. So here we are. This is the Talos V1 from Smoant, the sub-tank. They haven't changed a thing with this, to my knowledge. It's still called the V1, so I'm guessing they haven't. It's still a sub-tank. It's a nice bonus to have, but I think there are far better sub-tanks out there, and yeah, maybe just use the heads that come with, and yeah, and then maybe just put your own tank on. That's certainly what I've done. So, as you can see, Smoant Night V2, screen here, buttons here, charging port there. Obviously, this is your catch cup jobby. One major change from the V1, if you remember, it had a cap up here that you span around to get the battery out. You no longer need to do that. The battery is there, like that. You literally just pop your 18650 out of there. There's a little lip there, you can sort of get your fingernail in it. You've got your ventilation there as well, you can see your battery through those gaps. So let's You've got your spring-loaded 510 as well. The mod feels nice. It's a nice thing. Another major change for the V2. It's no longer stainless steel. The whole thing was a big, chunky, heavy stainless steel mod last time. Now it's some sort of power-coated chrome or something like that. But it's way lighter, is what I'm saying. So it's far more suitable as a pocket mod, which is where this becomes very useful. So let's fire up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, we're this way around. Smoant and Bosch. We are in. So 1, 2, 3. Oh, 1, 2, 3. It's not happy with me doing anything until I get an atomizer on. So let's do that. Let's stick this in here. Let's stick in our temperature sensing I sub V. And you can see it in TC mode. About the right height, a nice little match here. So we're going to say new coil, yes. And so it's read the resistance 0.12 nickel coil. If you want to change that, you go to 1, 2, 3. And you can change, you've got your variable wattage nickel, titanium, stainless steel. You've got your TCR modes as well. And all that stuff. If you go back into nickel, because that's what it is, you can see you've got your temperature on the big bit, and you can up down your temperature. You've got your resistance there. You've got battery life, it says Ni for nickel, and then you've got your wattage. Now to change the wattage, you go fire and plus, and you can see now it has sprung round to show wattage. Once you click fire, you go back and the temperature is back on screen. So that's very good, very handy way of changing that up. And the rest of the mod is what it is. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I've really been rocking this nice and up close so you can get some nice visuals. Let's have a look at it. I have been rocking this with the 23mm wide Merlin tank. One of my little favourites actually. I like this RTA a lot. So let's spin it around until we get back to the airflow flume. So you can see now, look, I got a 23mm RTA in here. Now obviously one thing to bear in mind is there's an air hole here, but there's an air hole on the other side, and that is slightly impeded, well, quite heavily impeded by the case. So it's something to bear in mind with all tanks that you put on here. This one does, but this one does slightly restrict that airflow, but I like it restricted because before that I was rocking it half closed anyway, so it's worked out absolutely fine for me with this tank. But I think it's really cool that it fits 23mm tanks in here, so it should fit things like your Typhoons and things like that, which is cracking. And yeah, I've been really enjoying using it like this. What I would do is say new coil, yes. I go 1, 2, 3, change it back to variable wattage, and it remembers the wattage that I was previously using, 32 watts on the Merlin. Let's go back up top and talk about it some more. We are back up top. This is the bit of the review where I reiterate everything I've already said over the previous 2 sections again. So here we are up top, the Knight V2. The Knight V2. Now when I first got this, opened it out of the box, I was like, Talas V1 again. And then I was like, not sure about this door, a little bit, oh, it feels a bit, not as sturdy as the previous one, and I was like, oh, what tank shall I put in? What's not going to cover up the air holes, and what can I do the juice well? What can I do the juice control with, and still be able to see what's going on, and what can I fill up? And I was on a bit of a downer with it, and then I found that the Merlin fit in here, and I've been using this mod so much since finding the right tank for this mod. I have just been using it so much. No longer care about the door. I mean, it's one thing to get it out the box and have a play and go, oh yeah, the door could be better. It would be better if they put something over to cover this so it's more like a C frame. So it had sides like that and it couldn't move left or right. You see how it doesn't go upward because of the frame there. If it had a little bit at the bottom as well, then the door would be absolutely fine. There's a slight bit of play on the door, but when you're vaping it, it's in the palm of your hand there. You don't notice it at all, and I've genuinely been using this mod a lot and really enjoying using it. The temperature control works really well on it, really well. For a while I've had this sub tank on it as well, while I was rebuilding the Merlin, and nickel coils worked absolutely fine. The only thing I noticed with TC is it's slightly oversensitive compared to other mods, so I've been rocking it at 500 Fahrenheit where I'd normally be about 460, 450 Fahrenheit for how I enjoy it. So that's just something I've noticed. The TC does work, no problems in my opinion, but I just noticed that I had to bump up the temperature a little bit. So that's absolutely fine. So TC, good. Its power delivery feels really nice. It's not something people talk about a lot on reviews, but a lot of these Chinese mods, not to pigeonhole an entire nation, but a lot of these budget mods, the power delivery really varies on them. Some of them feel weak, some of them feel too hot, overpowered, some of them once you bump them up, they don't feel like they're hitting that mark, or sometimes with quite a lot of them you feel the wave of power with the delivery. You know, you can feel that pulse width. With this, you don't. It feels like a genuine nice power delivery. I don't know if you care about that, but that's just something that I have noticed. Its power delivery is superb. No problems with the 510. Loving that I can get a 23mm tank in here. Obviously something to bear in mind is it can block up that airflow, but as it works on this, I'm really happy, and I can see my juice flow control there as well, so I'm doubly happy. Top fill, it's just great. I just feel like I found the perfect tank for this mod, and it's upped my enjoyment of it immeasurably, you know. I love how easy it now is to change your battery. Bosh. The top cap thing, it was like a double-edged sword, because the rubber bung, which made it look okay, covered up the venting, which was bad in the V1. And also, it was quite a chore going through the motions with turning that cap off, doing the old chicken dance, you know. It was a bit crazy to take on and off. Whereas this one, bosh, done. Like, I really like that. So started off like with a little bit of a negative with Night V2, and the more I've used it, the more I've enjoyed it, and I've got to give this a thumbs up, because like so much review stuff that I get in, I review it and then it just goes to the shelf, it goes to the giveaway pile, whatever, I give it to someone. This one I've been genuinely using, and I'm going to continue genuinely using, so I've got to give it a positive review, because of all the kit I've got, it is something I pick up and use, and I'm really enjoying it, and I'm really liking this mod. And it's got its weaknesses, you know, things like that door being slightly wobbly, and that tank is, but you know, but really enjoying this mod, really happy with this mod. Thumbs up. And I haven't been drinking before you ask in the comments. I've been Vick, and I'll see you again on the next one. Bye. Hiya. Today, that didn't work.